When you're mixing paint, you really don't need that much of the colors that you're going to be mixing. You're gonna be filling up the rest of this palette as you're mixing different colors. So if you take too much paint and you end up needing to clean your palette later, it's just gonna be a waste because you're gonna have to wash all that paint down the sink. So just take a little bit of paint and you can always grab more. When you have paint on your paintbrush and you want to use a new color, you need to wash your brush off in your water cup. So the way to do that is to just lightly swirl around your brush in the water cup. Don't jab down at the bottom of the cup because that will ruin the bristles. So just gently kind of stir your water. You can use the side to wipe off the paint, and once you see that it's mostly removed from the end of your brush, you want to take a paper towel, make sure all of that paint is off and that it's not showing up on the paper towel, and that way you'll be ready to use this brush with another color. So when you're mixing paint, you always want to do it in a new area of your palette. So if I'm making green, which is yellow plus blue, I'm going to take a little bit of yellow and put it in a new area of my palette. I'll quickly rinse off my brush, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of blue to that yellow to make my green. You just mix it. If you need more of one color, you can either carefully just grab a little bit from the side. It's probably best just to keep washing your brush if you need more of that color and then adding it here, just so that you're not getting colors in your original primary colors. So make sure you're always, when you're making a new color, mix it in a different area of your palette. Once your palette is full, feel free to wash it and put a little bit more of the primary colors so that you can continue mixing different colors and you have room for it. If your water cup gets dirty and it's harder and harder to wash your brush in the dirty water because there's lots of paint in it, feel free to wash this water down the sink and replace it with fresh new water. So for this top part here, the 12 colors of the basic color wheel. Now that I've made this green, and I don't need this color anymore, to make my green yellow, I'm just gonna clean my brush and add yellow to this green to get the in-between of those two colors, that tertiary color. So I'm gonna scoop up some yellow, add it to the green, mix, mix, mix until you get an in-between. So that nice, it looks kind of like a lime green, but it's a green yellow. And then I'm gonna use this to paint in the go. So now that I have my orange, to get my orange yellow, I'm gonna mix yellow with half of this orange here. So I'm actually gonna do this in a new section. And remember, you don't wanna be mixing a lot. Just look how small the boxes are, right? You don't need to be making like a whole bunch of one color. So I'm making that orange yellow, so I have a bit of yellow, and I'm gonna mix some of this orange with it. And now I'm gonna put that in this box here. And to make the red orange, since I don't need that orange anymore, I'm just gonna put a little bit of red in there, and then I'll paint it in the red-orange section. So for the grayscale, you're gonna start with your almost white and then make your way to almost black. So on your paint palette, you'll have white and black beside each other. I'll use this brush. And then what you wanna do, because the black is so dark, a little bit is gonna go a really long way in the white. So you're just gonna start with like the littlest, ittiest bit of black possible. That was even too much, so I just wiped some off there. You're gonna mix it with the white. You want this to be still like almost white, not dark at all, because you're just filling in this first box here. So you're gonna paint that almost white. All right, and then to get the next value, you're gonna add just a little bit more black. I'm not gonna keep washing my brush just for time's sake. Okay, so here's the finished gray value scale. You want to make sure that each of these boxes is different from one another, right? So they're kind of going up in equal amount from light to dark. No two boxes should look the same. All right, so next we're going to create the red value scale, okay? So for this, you want to put the pure hue in the center of this value scale. And then you're gonna work and make or mix the red with some whites to create lighter and lighter tints. And then you're gonna mix the pure hue of red increasingly with more and more black to create an almost black red, okay? So to make the darker values, I just kept adding a little bit more and more black into the original red until I got my almost black. For the tints, I would suggest starting with your almost white, so adding just a little bit of red into your white, and then adding a little bit more red, and a little bit more red, and then even more red until you get to your pure hue. So here's the finished red value scale.